So as promised, here are the elevators. So what you got to do next is you put the top piece of paper on. Well, actually what you do, you trim off what you have, and I'm using an 800 grit glass paper. Okay, and what you do, you pick up the elevator, okay, and you just basically find the edge and rub the edge. Now, there are some people in this world that can use a knife. I will not profess to be that accurate with a knife, but I know one thing, using this method, I know it's going to come out absolutely spot on, and you can't make a mistake by slipping with a knife or hacking off your finger. So just to save time and to stop you from getting bored, I'm only going to do this bit here, and lo and behold, it comes out like that. Okay, now here's one I prepared earlier. So I just repeated the process for the other side, and then I grab my glass paper, 800 grade, and I just do exactly what I just did there. This is all now dry. Move it along. You really do need a fine glass paper here. You just end up getting yourself into difficulties otherwise. But hey, have you got the stuff lying around or you haven't? And if you haven't, you'll just have to order it on eBay, or if there is still a shop open in this world that still sells this sort of thing, you can go down and buy some. It doesn't cost very much at all, if I'm being honest. Let's see how we go on there. Yeah, it's time to go. And just take your time over it. That's all you've got to do. It takes a few minutes. And obviously, if you're watching the video, it's probably taking forever. And you're thinking, oh, you know, fast forward it. I wouldn't blame you if you did. Wouldn't blame you, not a jot. But anyway, just so you get the feel of it, let's see how it turns out. Probably because it's a bend. There you go, it's on this way. There you go. Okay. Get a little bit there, look. You just rub it off. Simple as that, really. Now, if you want to, I mean, you can stay here and watch me do the rest of it, but I'm pretty sure you got the gist of it. And it's exactly the same process for doing the wing. There is only one more thing I would like to show you before I turn in for the night. It's about 8:15 in the evening here in the UK. I think it's the 26th of October, nearly Halloween. The time of the year when I go around scaring young children. Should be a law against that, really, I think. Anyway, there you go. Probably is. Knowing the state of things with the world. There you go. Nearly there. So as you can see, I mean, you know, when you're watching something, it's like watching paint dry, isn't it? But when you're actually doing it, you're quite unaware of how long this is taking. But you can see it's just about finished, so you might as well hold on. And I'll just show you the final part before you dope it. There you are. Don't know whether you could hear that aircraft flying overhead, probably not. As you can probably tell from my accent, I'm not far from Birmingham. My aircraft is going to BHX, Birmingham City, for the Coventry Road. Right, so you end up with that, and not a bad job at all. Yeah. Then what you do, you need an atomizer. For those of you who have a young lady, which I have, I borrowed this off her and filled it full of water, and all you got to do is wet the tissue. You haven't got to go mad with it. You still say mad? I don't know what you're allowed to say, not say. And then just rest it up against something, or lay it flat. But some people like to lay it on bits of wood. You know, you've got plenty of wood left over in your kit if you're doing this. So I suppose if you wanted to go down that route, just grab a few bits of wood, yada yada yada, rest it on, so at least you can say it dries flat. Yeah, there you go. And then just leave it alone. That's all you got to do. And that's where I got to with the rudders. Wetted them, and they just need doping now. So this will look like this, more or less, and then you can dope them. There you go. I've started the rudder assembly. Now I can see a few pitfalls with this, because if we take the top strut, which I believe is number 11, number 10 is the bottom, that needs to go on there like that. Now the thing is that horizontal or is it at an angle? I don't know, and I won't know until it's in one piece, and I offer it up to the wings, which are not yet on their struts. So I'm going to take an educated guess and say they are horizontal, because there's nothing in the instructions to tell you otherwise. Now, to get the rudders absolutely vertical, I've utilised the box it came in. We have to use our 45 degrees angles. Now, on the port side, or if you like the left hand side, I've already used a 45 degree angle and left it there for about 15-20 minutes and let the white glue go off, and it's just a little bit out there, but you know, it's good enough. So if you've got your old geometry set from school, get your 45s out and rest it up against something so it doesn't fall over, and they should be vertical. So that's how I'm going to approach this. When I come to put the top piece on, I'll have to put a bit of thought into it. What I might do is put something the correct height either side, some sort of bridge, then glue it into place and make sure it's level. I use these little levels because I use this in construction stuff, and try and get that level if I can. Now obviously you don't want to be using your zap, because if you zap it, it goes off almost instantly and you'll have no time to play with it. So again, I know I've said this a few times, use your white PVA glue. This gives you time to do things. So I'm going to let that set. In the meantime, I have put the elevators together. There they are. That's going off. It's got white PVA on those, so it gives me time to make them nice and level. I mean, like, you could have them in up or a down position, it's up to you. But that's what I've done. So that piece is just about ready to go on the bottom wing, which I have yet to decide whether I want to do right now or not. And that's where we are with that. So really, I will just let those rudders dry, In the meantime, I'm going to carry on with the repair to the upper wing, which I will now show you. I've cut out a piece of tissue. I've put some tissue paste around the edge to make it stick. It looks as though it's dry now. I've also done it on the other end, on the bottom, and I will wet that down and let that dry. Hopefully it should blend in and you won't notice, well, that's the idea, you won't notice that it's been damaged at all. So that's where we're at with that. And then when I come to the appropriate part, I'll be making a few more videos and we'll see where we are. We're getting to the exciting part now. Obviously there are some struts to go on the elevator part. Now those struts will go roughly from here up to the top wing, and I believe there's one coming down to there. I am not tempted to apply those just yet until I've got everything in place, because they may need to be trimmed to length. They may not even be long enough. I don't know. Let's wait and see. I might mount the bottom wing onto this part first. I'm not sure. I haven't made my mind up. Obviously the instructions would say mount the top and bottom wing first. I don't know. I'm not sure. But I'll find my own way and you will see the results of that. Well, some news for you. I doped the bottom wing using my Easy Dope, and I used a brush which I bought specifically for the task, quite a nice soft brush. It turns out that this tissue is so thin that and fragile, this brush went through the tissue. So I had to repair here and here, which you probably can't see. And I wasn't too crazy about the outcome either. Not too crazy at all. So I had to think about it. So when I came to cover top wing, what I did was I used the Easy Dope and mixed it with some water, sprayed it on. And that came out a lot better. And you can almost, well, it's almost translucent. You can see the ribs and everything. So I think that's going to look not bad at all. Now obviously I've got to make a repair here because there's a little hole there. Not quite sure how that happened. And a little hole there. Not quite sure how that happened. So what I'll do is I'll cut that out, put a repair on it, and it will blend in and hopefully you won't notice it. And the same here. And then those wings then should be good to go. So I think the recommendation is mix up your Easy Dope, put some water, 50-50 mix, all will be well. And then once I've done that, we'll move on to the next part.